808, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Kathy, calling from Hawaii.
Hey, Kathy from Hawaii. How you doing today?
Great, early in the morning.
Early, yes, it is. I have a brother that lives in Waialuku in Maui.
Oh, another island.
Yeah. So how can I help you today?
I just want a general reading.
Okay. How long have you been listening to the show for?
I just found you like a couple days ago.
A couple days ago. So has anything connected to you from the other shows that you listened to?
I feel you're very intuitive, so I was wondering if you could, find out what's happening with me.
Okay. So what I need you to do is tell me your first 10 minutes of the day. Combine that into 40 seconds. What I'm doing is I'm reading your dream time energies, and I'll be able to generate a reading for you. Go ahead and say that out loud.
Okay, well, usually when I get up, I go to the bathroom and get myself ready. I dog out to use the bathroom. I make my breakfast, get my things ready for work, and I get in the car and I go.
All right. When you first woke up this morning, did you rub your eyes and remember a dream?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't remember a dream, though. I rubbed my eyes, so.
Okay. Did you dream last night?
I don't remember it.
All right. Well, right now there's lots of dreams that are floating through you. I've tuned into your energy. And what I'm getting from you now is it's time for a purification. It's time to let go of the negative people that have been weighing you down. I'm really sensing there's a whole lot of people that have been dramatic in your life, and their volume is so high that you can't hear your own words, and you can't hear your own heartbeat. And as that goes and goes and goes, it peaks to a point until finally there's a pressure valve in you where you leave these people and you go to a place of purification and you let yourself relax. You connect to your inner soul and you understand that there's a great wisdom in there. But every time you leave that place and return home, the energies begin to build back up and ratchet up until it's too loud for you again. So what I'm really understanding here is that your physical environment, the people that you're around are not returning the gifts of love that you give them. And there's a reverse of wisdom in them. And this reverse wisdom is really irking your soul. It's really saying, no, I cannot have this around me. How can I change them and help them? But ultimately, it's about helping yourself and changing yourself. Mm-hmm. This is not saying leave them totally. It's saying that you must build barriers. You must understand that the earth that you live on now has provided you all of the knowledge and wisdom to build these barriers so that they cannot enter your sacred space anymore. And as you grow deeper into these energies, various spirit beings from the island are going to begin to come to you. And one is of a woman that's of the sacred island healers, and she's going to help you understand why these men around you can't be healed, because they're in a state where they don't understand their spiritual contracts. They have never gone through a purification process on their own other than when they went through puberty or, became an adult men where they had to go out and get a job or starve. So until those men go through repeated purification processes, they're going to stay exactly the way that they are. And you can't force them to do that, but what you can do is lead by example. What it's really telling you is it's time to step up and say that there's a spiritual side of you that wants to be expressed in the physical world. And if these men around you don't want it, then you need to tell them to respect it and go in the other room. You need to have spiritual energies in your home. Are you a spiritual person?
Very.
Okay. So you would say that you've had many spiritual experiences.
Yes.
So do you wish to bring these spiritual experiences into your home and to change the very energy of your home?
Yes.
So are you ready to be the shaman who walks upon the island?
Yes.
So you need to dedicate a spot and begin to bring people there so that you have ceremonial time on your land. Can you do that?
Yes. Well,
if you can do all that, you can begin to bring that energy. This very people you stand upon, the stone people, that which gave that island birth, will begin to speak to you through your feet. Your feet are like two tuning forks where the tibia and fibia connect to the ankle bones and to the foot. And they will literally speak to you through your feet. All right? And I mean literally speak to you through your feet. And then you'll begin a process of a dancing shaman. You'll put on the ceremonial headdress and the ceremonial garbs as you begin to dance with the drums and the rattles. And you bring the other women and men of young age who want to become dancers of spirit. and not out of tradition, but to truly understand the spirit. For those that want to be spiritual, they will be of every walk of life, of every race, of every creed, and you will open your heart to them into that of the very nature of the healing parts that you create. So by fulfilling the shaman within you and honoring the land, the people will come. So it's saying to form a spiritual dance group with drummers that support it. And from there, the energies of your home will raise, and the very men that are around you will begin to stir and understand the purification process that they can go through. They can go down to the ocean and give away their pain, and when they return, they can return with a similar feat that you have, because you will be teaching people how to sense through their feet once again. That's the type of energies that I'm getting from you. Are you understanding this?
Yes.
Is there anything you wish to share with us about your spiritual path?
Well, just recently I just got rid of the negative male energy in the house. I kicked them out, so that now it's very peaceful.
Okay.
So it's right on what you just been saying.
Okay. So now that you're in this house, I think the most important thing you do is when you get off this call, you talk to the house and say, I do not want this male energy here. I want to nurture the energy of the land, and dance in your home. Go and make sure your feet dance in each room of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let your footfalls be the message to the Earth Mother below that you are dedicated in this area to ceremonial time and place, so that you may create the sacred feminine reverbing energy that's within you, and you may create a healing space for all to come to a rainbow gathering.
Yes, that's what I plan to do.
Okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there any other questions you have?
No, that's pretty much, that's good. That's feeling what the energies were. Thank you.
All right. Why don't you call in again next week or later in the week, and we'll, after you begin to process this, there's other things that are going to come to you. There's going to a lot of spirits that are going to talk to you. Don't be overwhelmed. Simply say, I'm not ready for any more, or give me a few hour break, or wait until after I've had my morning, cup of coffee before you speak to me, because to them time doesn't exist. And they've got a lot of things planned for you, but you got to do it out of free will and love for what it is, because they're giving you this endless amount of energy to create it, and they're saying if you build it, they will already dance in it. They're already dancing in it now, actually. There's actually hundreds and hundreds of people dancing in and around you, because your soul is connected to this reading in a way that it's manifesting you, so you can understand that there's 7 future generations of your children, and the students that you teach will be dancing on the ceremonial grounds that you create.
Awesome. I feel that now. I just felt that feeling come over me.
I'm actually I'm full of tears right now as I'm connecting deeper to the island spirit that you are. When I read my brother on the island in Maui, or some of his friends over there, frequently I connect to that spiritual energy, and it's really refreshing and at times tearful because of the healing that's going on, because those people on the island now are going through a specific form of healing. That's why they're on the island.
Yes. I feel like that's the side I should be heading towards.
Okay.
Healing.
Well, this will be in archives probably tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning. I would definitely go back and listen to this. I'm speaking to several different versions of you. Definitely into the future, you'll be getting more information out of that first reading.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, I've got another caller on, so why don't you call back next week? 808, your name and where you're calling from?
Hawaii.
Hey, how you doing? And your name, please?
Kathy.
Hey, Kathy from Hawaii. How can I help you today?
I'd like a reading.
Okay. Did you call in last week also?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How did that reading help you?
Very good. I danced all over my house.
Danced all over your house. Did you get to clean out some of that male energy that was coming and going?
Definitely.
Definitely. So, tell me about your dreams.
Well, I had a weird one. I thought somebody came and visited me, somebody who had passed over.
Okay.
And then I've been hearing like a tone, so I'm trying to figure out, is that somebody trying to talk to me?
Okay. There are lots of people that are trying to talk to you, and the reason I asked you about your dreams is it's written all over you that you're having dream communication now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like all over you, and they're trying to help you understand that they don't want to scare you in the physical world, so they want to come to you in your dreams. And really what that's about is you have to, before you go to sleep, you need to make yourself a little personal explorative ritual where maybe you do something that cycles down your energy, take a long hot bath, a long hot shower, massage your body so that when you sit down on the bed, there's a processing moment where you allow your body to truly relax before you even go to the sleep state. So,
well, I try to.
Go ahead.
No, I try to do that. I try to relax and listen.
Okay.
That's what I've been trying to listen lately.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a reading. What I need you to do is tell me your times table. 1 times 2, 6 times 7, 8 times 7. Do that for out loud for about 40 seconds, and I'm going to tune into the rest of your energies.
Okay. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 times 7 is 49.
All right, I've tuned into your energies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give me a second here as I formulate this energy. From your east direction is the dream time coming in. This is the dream time that I had just spoken about before I tuned into you. The nature of this dream time is truly about expanding your vision. In previous parts of your life, there was a limited vision. And now you are going to a part where the universe is repaying you for deeds that you've done in the recent present and the deep past. What it's saying is you have earned the right to see the next level now. It'll ultimately be about you understanding your feminine nature and retreating into the very nature of womanhood to see your dreams open up. It's going to call a time where you go into your womb like yourself, like you were before the child, to get to that infinite point of view before the child went through the birth canal. This retreat into unlimited vision is going to be your personal challenge into the dream world and into the physical world. You know, it's going to say that you're open and loving enough to have even the possibility of a new male mate come into your life, even though you may not choose it in the present now, but at least the possibility has a single tiny percentage chance, a twinkle, a hope. And as you begin to expand your personal energy to your personal spiritual and healing development, you will go much more into a sacred feminine energy. You will find why you danced all over your house, why you did those actions, because you're the true shaman, you're the true woman of the spiritual nature, the woman that is a sacred feminine warrior. Now that concept, sacred feminine warrior, is something that you must take into your mind and must give your own personal definition. I am imparting vibration and words behind it, but you must take it and run with it. Sacred feminine warrior, sacred dancing feminine warrior. Those are the types of concepts you're going to need to expand. And as you expand, that energy you felt when you finished dancing in your home, that was your personal ritual of joy where you allowed yourself simply to do it because it was there. And that is your moment, that's hour of power. So we connect that past moment to this present moment, and we look to the future moment, which is RESPCET, respect. Are you going to fall into the old traps and allow that old male energy to come back? Or are you going to have enough respect for yourself and to say, no, the new male energy that has the inkling of coming in will respect me and all of my needs, and if it does not, is not allowed into my home overnight. So that is what's coming to you currently. The next layer here is to understand that the process that you're going through is to look at your previous burdens in life, the men you had in your life, the spiritual people you didn't have in your life, and to the future. Because right now there's just a few baubles in your burden basket. And it's not often that people totally empty out their burden basket. And it's all right. Like I said, baubles, a trinket here or there, something to remind you of the past. And that's fine. So you need to go into this self-reliant mode where you rely on yourself to things to get accomplished. You don't dole out any leadership roles to anyone else. But at the same time, the feminine energy can eat itself when it does that too much. And that truly becomes a burden. And that's the next energy that I see in you. It's a cycle that has come when you are empowered. You go out and do everything for yourself and don't allow others to do for themselves. So it is you, the now, that has to remember that there's two layers to that respect, two layers to that self-reliance. Is this making sense to you?
Yes, very.
Okay. So the next layer is sharing. And this is when you're going to ask drummers and dancers to come to your home, where you're going to open up the first ceremony of your home, the new ceremony of the free home. You're going to allow the quickening of that energy into your home, and it's going to chase out any leftover negative energy. And it's going to fill your home with the footsteps of the ancients. Are you prepared to have the footsteps of ancients in your home?
Yes.
You have seen the footsteps of the ancients before.
Oh, I can feel it.
Okay. Have you seen the night marchers?
No, I haven't seen them. I felt them, though.
Okay. Just so you understand, there are many concepts about the night marchers. If you should see them, they are walking and dancing through your space for a reason. Respect them. If they return frequently, you need to give an offering to them outside of your home, an apple, a piece of pineapple, something that is just a reminder that that was left for them. They are honoring your space if they are there. They are dancing and sharing your energy because they are shamans past, protecting the land, also searching out to take away the negative energy. And if anything else should come through your home and try to speak with you during those dancing moments, know that you can create and co-create and protect it with the very nature of the energies around you. The original source of great mystery is linking with you, allowing you to come into the next layer of clarity here. And it's going to be a time where you sit in hand-drawn circles and you gather the hands of others and you do what you would call a seance. But it isn't truly a seance. It's when hands are gathered together in prayer to bring sacred feminine energy to a spot so that a spot of fertility of energy can come so others can dance in this sacred space that you're creating. And as they begin to dance in that sacred space and create and co-create with it, clarity will come. And with that clarity, you'll understand why you decided to make your home a healing place. And as you decide to take it further, you'll understand that you're going to have spots in your home that you're going to heal people. You already know that you're a healer. You've seen this in your life many times. Now it asks you, are you ready to take it to the whole new level?
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
But then in this dance, I want to look at different job opportunities, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think that this energy is really going to allow you to truly understand why your soul came into this world as you connect to that ritual dancing energy, that ritual energy that just brings the sacred feminine in, that allows the drum beat to connect you to the original twin heartbeat of your mother and the heartbeat of the child in the embryonic sac. Getting back to the heartbeat of Earth Mother is truly going to be how you own your power. And it's going to be how jobs manifest you, how money manifests you, because the heartbeat of Earth Mother in you is now in sync. It's something you have to know, that the universe thanks you very much for doing that. Thanks you very, very much for going through this process. And know it's time for you to accept the gifts of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
As you accept the gifts of the universe, you'll have something to give away. Your story, your wisdom, your knowledge. And those people that come in and out of your home will thank you very much. And they too will be giving away gifts to you. A constant co-creation of gifts among you as the sacred feminine order creates around you. That is what I have for you today.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew.
You're quite welcome. And thank you for calling in and sharing with us. Call in again.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take it easy. Hey, Lynn.
Oh, wow. Good morning. The animals are playing and they just ran into me. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Thank you. I would like a reading this morning if that's all right.
Sure. I'll be happy to give you a reading. So you kind of know how this works. I need to tell you to tell me the first 10 minutes of your day. Be as detailed as you can about when you first woke up. So go ahead and
I woke up and I stumbled out of bed this morning, trying to find my robe. Then I turned the light on and stumbled around with my eyes closed, trying to find my robe. Then I went out through the living room, through the foyer, into the kitchen, almost tripped on a toy. Was going to make a pot of coffee, but I decided to go for a microwaved coffee instead. And So then I got that cup of coffee in the microwave, went into the bathroom, started the...
All right, I've tuned into you.
Very good.
Okay. So I've read you on air before, so people
Yes.
that know you're Seeker333 in the chat room.
Yes, I am.
So the energies of your east direction that come forward are ultimately about the first process of understanding the layers of energy that are in you. And this process is a release, let go, recycle, renew process. This is different than a standard purification process. This is when you're making the inventory about who you are, and that inventory simply looks at the polarized life events that you have, and you begin to recycle the energy that's invested in them to a more neutral energy so that you can respend it on future events or the ever-present co-creating you. When you are renewing old concepts, you are like the faith that helped you get through the life force that you went through. That's the connective tissue to the spiritual person that you are. You're renewing that life force, renewing that concept, adding more energy to it. Whereas for some of the more negative things in your life, you're removing energy from that and changing the polarity and allowing this energy to return to you in a recycled natural energy format. Whereas a purification process is to dump out the person, get rid of all the stuff that's in there, so that you return to the original identity of that person. So you've done purification before, but now it's time for a more refined concept where you create this internal time where you're able to go over some of the thoughts, memories, actions, habits that have gone through in your life, and you'll physically say to them, I'm repairing, renewing, and recycling the energies of these habits, these times of life, these memories, so that the ever-present co-creating me may go forward in life with all of their power. And when you begin this process of repair, renew, and recycle, you'll be going through the actual process of the giveaway. Because you're giving it away to the universe. You're allowing the universe to hear your intent. And you're allowing the universe to repay you with energy, to repay you with fire energy, to repay you with healing. When you send energy out in the universe, I'll liken it to like sending something in the mail. And you get that notification in your email that somebody has sent you something and you've got a tracking number. Well, energy works the same way, but only the conscious person that's aware of it can repair, renew, recycle, send that energy to the universe and allow it to return to them in an instantaneous mode so that the universe itself is giving you a theme of energy to work with as the ever-present co-creating you who's trying to create healing and an expansion in your life. You understand that so far?
I certainly do.
So,
yes.
Go ahead. Say something.
Well, yes, the healing, the process of healing and addressing the physical part of it as well. My habits, my addictions, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we all have those.
Yes.
Even me, we all have them.
Yes.
You know, I still microwave a coffee every now and then. I can't blame you.
Yeah. It was just quicker this morning, darn it.
Though I won't ever do instant coffee again. I won't do instant coffee.
How come?
It's just something about the flavor. I was big into coffee when I was young. I worked at a coffee shop. I could do those latte artworks and put your picture in the latte.
Mm-hmm.
So I had good coffee.
Okay, just spoiled. That's it. Kind of a coffee snob.
Yes.
Very good.
A bit of a coffee snob. I even grow my own coffee plant. So.
Oh, neato. I gotta say though, I did run across a couple of instant coffees that were really yummy, and that was the Black Silk by Folgers. But anyway.
Well, I don't even look at instant coffee. Shop store.
Very good.
So you're in the stage of expansion, and this is what your east direction is saying. This is the energies coming to and from you. Now the next direction of your life. This is a little more different for you. This is your dream world. This is the infinite dream world trying to communicate with you in layers and patterns so you understand that there's a path and a process here for you to free will explore and understand. And that first path is to reflect on the dreams you've had. Have you started a dream journal?
Well, no, because I always have a journal nearby, but when it comes to remembering the dreams, I'm not doing that yet.
What do you think the reason is?
Maybe something I don't want to look at. Fear.
Let's go just a little bit deeper.
Okay,
At times when people have had tough lives, it's very difficult for them to count their victories. And that's the fear of success, really.
Okay.
You already deeply know that dreams will answer so many of your questions when you're connected to them. And one of the fears of the dream, the fear of that connectedness, you will have to go through these moments of victory where you conquer the old self who didn't allow you to see the victories, to see the joy, to see the patterns of soul contracts that are interacting with you in this level with you now. So for you, the best thing I can describe is there are dreams you can remember earlier in your life. You know, they may not be perfect, but you're a writer. You can co-create with them. And I think you need to start like 2 or 3 paragraphs that are some positive dreams that you've had.
Okay.
So you can think of any of them in your lifetime. And then what you're going to do is before you go to bed, you're gonna tell yourself the positive dreams and begin to count your victories. So let's say you describe 2 positive dreams, and just before you go to sleep, you begin to count the victories. I am powerful enough and strong enough to confront the self of me that doesn't want to explore dreams. I now call to my dream world and say it's time for me to have the next victory in my life. So I'm more aware of these dreams. And I will honor you, dreams, when I awaken, and I will begin to continue to record what you have. When you're doing that, you're challenging the autopilot of the person going to sleep and the person awakening. And when you challenge that autopilot, quite literally, your dreams have more access to you. They have more ability to function within the innocence of the dream world. The dream world is viewpoints and options your soul brings to you so you can understand the new abilities that are functioning through you. I mean, you're beginning to understand how powerful your soul is and the type of healer that you're meant to be in this life.
I am beginning to understand, yes.
You've experienced so much in your life, positive and negative, but these lessons were there so that you understand them at the most primal level. So when someone comes to you with similar wounds, you know what they've been through. You've healed it in yourself, and you can provide wisdom to them that helps them associate through their own trauma. You know, I call it like being wound mates. That you're healing your wounds. And when one type of wound is showing in a healing process and it's shared in a circle of trust, it allows the other person to update their systems of healing or their maps and directions towards those things. You're coming into a time where you need the prayer and inner peace in you so that when people come to you for healing, that they instantly understand that you have that spark of prayer, that spark of inner peace. That isn't connected with dogmatic religion. It is just your heart space, creating a zone of trust with yourself and a zone of trust with your children and your animals and your grandchildren, and allowing other peoples to come into the far end boundaries to earn their circle of trust so you can share your healing wisdom with them. And at the same time you're sharing healing wisdom, what you're sacrificing is your old story. Because your old story is a healing story.
You're so right. I did have I've always recognized people's pain and their sorrows. I mean, I can just look at them and feel it. And 2 days ago, I had that recollection because I had to confront. I had to meet with the ex for reasons. Anyway, but I do. And so I recognize their pain, and I'm at the point now where how do I turn that around? How do I make that useful so I can help them? And so that's part of my process of healing as well. You know, when I get there, I will be able to know what type of healing I can give to them, I believe.
I will help you chart a course.
Yeah.
The first concept of the course that you're taking here is you have to be willing to accept the winds of change.
Okay.
The winds of change are the universe repaying you in many ways, shapes, and forms with healing energy. So you have to begin the prayer concept of being open to receiving energy from the universe in your circle of trust.
Okay.
So that's a vital
I
technique that people need to learn. And it's one of those things you just got to do every day. And it's an endurance battle because there are times you don't want to open up your sacred space to anything, to even the universe. And that's ultimately what keeps people locked in the cultural concepts of domination and control.
Is not being able to open up.
Correct.
Yes.
In that circle of trust, with that zone of inner peace that allows you to experience the messages of the universe. And the messages of the universe come in many forms. At times they have no vision, have no illumination. They have nothing attached to them other than they're a wave of love energy that's coming to you in a tidal format. And it just you as the person has to absorb these waves of energy. I get so many people telling me I get these waves of shivers and it feels like my body is cold. That's because you're rejecting love from someone. You know, it means a few other things, but generally it's you're rejecting love. It seems I've lost Seeker for a second. She'll be back in a second. Every now and then Skype goes a little weird. And we're reaching this point where when people begin to awaken to the greater concepts of how to open themselves to this concept is when you get more of the unlimited vision of the dream world. You get more of the full concept of the dream world. You're allowing yourself to exist in this zone of trust with the great energies of the universe repaying you in this tidal format. This tidal format is so important to understand because it's where vision begins. It's where you root and ground yourself in all of the concepts of vision. It's where you bring in the full energies of the world, the full energies of the universe, and allow them to coexist in your zone of trust, in your sacred space, so that you can create even more unlimited vision with them. And that unlimited vision is the dream time. Is that world in between worlds. It is the uni-world layered on top of every other world. It seems we're still having a little issue with Skype here. Let's see if I can hang up and call her back. Alright. So that unlimited vision, that unlimited dream world is ultimately about understanding your zone of trust that you create. Lynn, are you back?
I am back.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Well, every now and then Skype gets a little energetic, and then I kind of liken it like all of a sudden the moth of Skype suddenly hit the flame.
Yep. Yes, you just started breaking up, and then you were gone. So.
Yeah.
So where were we?
It's the energies of opening up. Is what's going on for you. You have to open your zone of trust to these waves of energy that are coming from the universe. And as you begin to extend the zone of trust, you'll be going through these moments of joy. And these moments of joy will begin to slowly creep into you. And it'll be you to take them into your inner spots that need this joy energy, that need these power energy, where I call it the ritual joy, because the energy is coming at you in this tidal format over and over and over again. You've extended your zone of trust and you've indicated to the universe, I'm ready to hear your message. I'm ready to receive the healing so I can go on to my next level.
Yes.
You do that for a period of 2 or 3 days, and then you slowly retract your zone of trust so that only the more refined energies of the universe come into you and allow you to co-create with your spirit guides. And when you begin co-creating with the spirit guides in a more inner zone of trust instead of the very edge of the zone of trust, you empower them to teach you their language. And when you learn their language, you understand that it functions in pictures, it functions in words, it functions with your external voice talking to them and then an internal voice answering them, or 2 external voices going back and forth, because your aura, your energy needs that. And when you experience outer dialogue, where that's me talking to you, and at the same time there's an inner person of you going, yes, I'll ask this question. On the other side of that is when you're off the call with me, you can talk this all out aloud. Our culture is very weird about people talking to themselves. So what's your view on talking to yourself?
I do it all the time. It doesn't matter to me who's around.
You get great conversations, too.
I can, yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, God, you're just a crazy lady. Be quiet. But, yes, I do have an inner knowing. And, you know, there have been so many times when I haven't listened and it starts yelling at me. Hello, wake up. But, yes.
Have you identified any of those voices as a spirit guide yet?
Not by name. Maybe energy. I think that they've always been with me, and they're all very familiar. But my lack of openness has kept them at bay.
Okay. So
yeah.
you're ready to talk to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. You're a writer. So your first format is going to be in writing. So what I want you to do is write a hello spirit guides letter.
Okay.
Okay. And
all right. As we speak.
No, I mean when we get done.
Yeah.
Write a hello spirit guides. I'm Lynn. I'm Seeker 333. I've been through some crap in my life and I'm ready to let go of it. What do you guys got to help? Let's start somewhere. I'm going to extend the zone of trust. That's your first paragraph. And then after that is you defining the boundaries of how they communicate with you. You can say, all right, I'm capable of talking out loud to myself, but I need to understand the format of when you respond. Will you be a feminine voice, a masculine voice? Will you be a neutral internal concept or an external concept? I need to know that so I can define my boundaries of trust with those that I'm going to be allowing into the communicative healing process with me. By defining all of that, you begin this zone of trust process that allows them to understand what you're saying and create a language you function in. A vehicle of mediumship that allows you to use your third eye, your clear audience, and your clairsentience to take to the new level.
Makes sense. Are you there?
I'm here. You're doing.
Oh, shoot. You never know with this bouncy stuff.
So the next thing here is your places of power, the place that empowers you. Are you familiar with smudging?
Yes.
You do it?
I do. Yes. I'm out of my sage right now, but yes, I smudge. I also, I created a sacred circle the other day. I was led to prepare the fire. I have it in a circle. We have a spot where the swimming pool used to be, so it's dirt out in the backyard, and I enclosed my circle with salt for protection. So my fire is still waiting.
Outstanding.
And yeah, it's a fire to honor all and gratitude and love because of how far I've come, and yeah. So yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Right. So Lynn, you've got this fire pit protected by salt. What you planning to do with it?
Well, I'm following guidance by, burning the fires. I really don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I always make up my own ceremonies and rituals. I thought it would be to honor my ancestors and all that is, and, like I said, in love and gratitude. How's that sound?
That's outstanding. So the next question is, when are you going to do it?
Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, well...
Plan a day. Plan it. Honestly, plan it. And this is when you get the opportunity. Let's say you decide to do the fire tonight. That gives you a few hours to write your Hello Spirit Guides paragraph. Gives you a few hours to look at the repair, renew, recycle concept. So when you come to the fire, you've come to it in a method and a manner of release, of giveaway. And when you're giving that energy to the fire converts it and allows you to take it back instantaneously through the warmth of the fire.
Very good. Well, I was planning to do it for the full moon, but
Don't worry about the full moon. Plan yourself 3, 4, 5 days in advance, even a few hours in advance.
Okay.
It's so important that when you go to do something ceremonial, you bring ceremonial concepts to it. It's so important to prepare yourself for these energies because it's your opportunity to let go of the junk. And when you're done with it, the junk is gone and the new energies of the tidal force of repayment of the universe is there. That's when you begin to receive so many new layers of understanding because you let go of the junk.
Yes, and I am beyond ready to let go of the junk.
Okay?
I don't want it anymore. No,
So
thank you.
Make a junk list that you're going to take to the fire.
Okay. Oh, I already have a bag full of stuff to burn.
Okay. Well, I'm actually an actual list that you write out. The junk.
Okay, I'll write it out.
Okay.
But,
and what you can do is write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off, and keep throwing it into the fire.
Okay.
And repeat it out loud as you're giving it away to the fire. Fire, friend that's in my zone of trust. I am giving away all of these concepts of the negative things that happened to me. I am open in a zone of trust to receive the new energies of life so I can take even more into me to understand my healing process so I may heal myself and heal others.
Okay.
When you're co-creating with ceremonial time like that, you are the shaman.
I am the shaman. Okay. I understand.
Okay?
Yes.
Understand.
Yes.
So now we get to the next part of Lynn. I've gotten to know you over the times you've called into shows. You're part of the Sacred Feminine show. You're an incredibly powerful spirit. You're right on that edge of really opening up your intuition to a new level. And the only thing that's holding you back right now is the fear of success.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm glad you identified that for me because I've been asking myself. I have been asking, what you scared of? How come? Okay, good.
Okay. Being the shaman allows you to taste test success.
How's that?
Because every time you give away something to the fire, you get something back.
Oh.
And each one's a little taste of success until finally you get the habit of success and you say, I want success. I do not want failure. I do not want stagnant and inaction anymore. And you're allowing more and more and more of yourself to be a part of that successful person that is confronting their issues and healing them in such a way that you can open yourself up to the layers of intuition that are trying to get at you from every layer of your spirit.
Can you feel me smiling? Because
I can.
I just got a big shitty on my face, man. Oh, whoops. Daytime radio. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Oh, my goodness. I love it. Because, I'm there. I'm there, ready. Like I say, beyond. I think I've punished myself enough. I think I've been in this mode of whatever. Penance.
Time out.
Like I say, I've suffered enough. And this place of beating upon myself is done. It's time for a new place. And
well, I got one more suggestion for you.
Okay. I do follow.
I
do follow your advice.
I know you do.
That's
why you're ready for this next layer.
Yeah, there are many things that I've put into practice that you have suggested. And, oh, my goodness, I need to jump for joy. I really, seriously, I don't know. I've had some sort of healing going on. My lower back is like the pain is barely even there now. Okay, and I do not exactly know if it was the salt sage silver, but I did have one particularly really bad morning. I took the the salt pack and laid it on my lower back where the pain was. And it must have been about 45 minutes that I slept. But when I got up, the pain was gone. Okay. And ever since that day, there's just been little, if I move the wrong way, ouch. But now, so now I'm just kind of dealing with the physical part of, the dependence, my physical dependence upon the meds that I was on. So anyway, but yeah, woohoo. Yeah. Okay. Continue, please.
The next layer for you is your voice.
Uh-huh.
It's time for you to start recording your voice. Most cell phones have a little voice recorder built into them.
Yes.
Whenever you sit out in the morning, start doing a little voice recording log.
Okay.
Because when you go to play it back, that is locking in time that vibration and self-expression of you. For every microsecond you go forward, you're a different person. And when you begin to record your vibratory voice in this healing process, you get intuition from your former selves. And your former selves contain so much energy that you're able to reabsorb it right away and go right back into the healing path.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. Okay, so could you record voice? Sorry.
Just record your voice. That's
there we
it.
go.
You wake up in the morning, you get your coffee, you sit down outside, you look over your yard, and you've got a cell phone always, right?
Yes. Well, mostly, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Or a recording device, whatever. Start recording your thoughts.
I will.
Right? And then transcribe them to paper. When you go from recording thoughts to transcription, you are really in the thick of change. You're really doing the hard work because it's physically required for your brain and the physical ever-present co-creating you to connect to those concepts of change. And writing is a great way. To go from recording to writing is refining it in such a format that it really deeply resonates with you. Don't be surprised if you find yourself tearing when you're listening to yourself speak.
Okay.
Because it's your own truth.
Yes, and I'm familiar with what you're speaking of, because at times I will reread certain things, and yeah, it does bring a tear to the eyes, but listening to myself, I was doing that yesterday, and I really had a hard time relating to the person that was speaking on the phone a couple months ago, but at the same time, I remember, the pain of it, right? I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. I remember when you first called in. I remember the hesitation and pain in your voice.
Yeah.
And by at the end of the show, I had you looking into a direction that wasn't the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up to you to continue to look in that direction. And when you hear that old voice, that old person, it's so tough for you to relate because you've changed so much.
Right. And that's what happened was I wrote out a lot of gratitude, love and gratitude for how much I've grown. That person back in February, I have much empathy for her, but I'm just not her anymore.
Right. Not her anymore.
Yeah. So, yay.
And that's because you chose to give her away to be yourself.
Yes.
And that's the true giveaway process. You did it. You're the absolute shining light of an example of the giveaway.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting, and it's pretty rough at times, but so far it's been so very worth it. So I'm glad I chose to stand and face it and not run anymore.
Well, now that you're not running and you're standing in place and owning your power, you get to choose your next layer of investment. And this is important. When you go to light that fire, you're bringing the investment of yourself to it. And that's the real purpose of ceremonial time.
Okay.
Real purpose.
Sounds great.
I want to thank you for calling in. And when you called in, a couple months ago for the first time, you never listened to my show. I want people to know that. Never heard. Just tuned into my show and heard a call-in number and called in. And from that point on, she made her own choice to change. $210, your name and where you're calling from?
Cindy Gabriel. I'm calling you from Texas.
Hi, Cindy Gabriel from Texas. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm one of the 100 people you mentioned earlier that asked for a private reading, and so I just sent you my Skype address to connect it with the correct email address.
Okay.
That's the way you're going to be able to connect with me, right, for a reading?
Yes. A lot of people sent me a Skype name that didn't have their actual name that lined up with the email they sent me.
Okay, I connected that when I heard you say that at the beginning of your show. I'm kind of calling you for several questions. I listened to you when you were with Mike and Peter, and I'm curious to know if I'm with my right soul family, if I'm on the most perfect path for myself. You know, what do I need to do to claim all my power? And those are more of the essential questions I have, and there's just another one that I'm questioning, kind of this convergence that's happening all around me on a business level. And
Okay.
those are my areas.
What I need you to do is tell me about your first 10 minutes of your day. Be as descriptive as possible when you first woke up. Tell me if you dreamed the night before, that night, and give me about this 45, 50 seconds out loud.
When I first woke up, I listened to all the noises, the people's voices around me. Everyone was awake in the house. And I got up because my son came in to talk to me about he was troubled with how short his hair was cut the day before.
All right, I've tuned into you. You don't need to go any further. Your energies are very unique. The soul family that you're in you are in the right soul family, to answer the first question. But your soul family has been hamstringed by fine print contract that goes several dozen generations back, where you're linked to a French family lineage that has a family crest. And this family crest is the ultimate lineage blocker for you. Do you have any knowledge of a French lineage on your mother's side?
No, I don't. I've not researched anything on my mother's side as far as ancestry.
Well, it would be a very good idea for you to go on Ancestry.com and invest an hour or two in it. Right away, this family crest that comes forward is a lion and a sword, a cross sword on the other side. And this is indicating you were part of the organizations, not the Templars, but that were going to fight inside the Holy Lands and defend Israel. And that right there means your warrior side of the family was tied up into the entire drama of that situation. And that is what's hampered your actual soul family from expanding the true illumination. You are called Jinn-Ak, and Jinn-Ak are a subspecies of Arcturian. The Arcturians split into two species for a while, and just because they were expanding their consciousness, they decided to split into two species, and the Jinn-Ak found their own planet a very, very, very far distance away from the Arcturian homeworld, and they set up their own colony, they set up their own homeworld, they connected to the sacred feminine of that world, and after a while, the species began to thin out because the Arcturians wanted to reunite themselves. But the Arcturians always kept a door open. If somebody wanted to take a few lifetimes off, they could go to the Jinn-Ak homeworld. And the whole purpose of the Jinn-Ak homeworld was to connect to people that are musicians. Are you a musician this life?
No, but my children are. My son is specifically.
Okay. Anyone else in your family a musician?
No.
No, just your son.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should be a musician this lifetime, quite literally, because the Jinn-Ak homeworld is a place for musicians to come and expand their consciousness evolution through sound and through music. They are tremendous healers of sound and vibration. The Jinn-Ak homeworld also has a direct relation to the Lemurian time, similar to the other caller. You would regularly come to this world in a migration pattern as a physical being and do healings here with song. And you are related to the seven sisters who are the singers and healers. Seven Sisters is a spiritual organization as well as a physical organization of healers that existed from the Pleiades, but spread out in concept among many, many other worlds because they were looking for the best healers that could use their auditory singing voice as well as their musical instruments to literally generate a positive vibration within the soul family so that they can break negative incarnation patterns. Now, what's going on with you in business right now is that music, but it's not in the same form as music. You were saying there's a tremendous amount of things that are coming to you on a business level, but the self-sacrifice of the business level has really created a impasse in the sacred feminine energies that you have right now. And how often in business have you had to put aside your feminine side and be aggressive in male energy to keep it going?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I don't know. I think that when you're dealing with the aggressive business world, you tend to have to pull more of that out of you. But I try to keep a balance and not get caught up in the egos of the business world. However, it's difficult to avoid.
Right. And that's what's caused this, I'll just say, effect of you pushing your sacred feminine energies down on a regular basis. Because what I'm sensing from you as you're telling me about your morning is right away you would have to put on the clothes to go to work. And when you did that is where you allowed your sacred feminine energy out. But when you actually got to work, your sacred feminine energies was stuffed back in. And many, many, many women in the business world do this simply because when you're a shining, bright, sacred feminine energy in a workplace, you become a target. And therefore, you must bring more and more of the male energies to balance out the fact that you're not going to be a shining feminine source of energy. The business world is a cannibalistic world in its own sense of concept, but not physicality. And when somebody is a massive sacred feminine beacon of light, they get taken out very fast or get abused very easily. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so how do you maintain that beacon of light? How do you maintain the feminine energy?
You have to do it
in the business world.
You have to do it outside of the business world. That's the key. You're in this habit pattern that the business world says you can't be that way. But to be that way, you have to have personal, ceremonial, and ritual times away from work that allow the sacred feminine out in sharing of sisterhood with other women that are learning of their sacred feminine. So you have to be in women's groups. That's one way. Spiritual women's groups would be outstanding for you. Going to a drumming session, a drumming group that has women or men in it. You need to be the musician this life. That would be a way of really countering the effects of having to stuff down your sacred feminine.
There's some spiritual women groups that you can recommend, or how would I seek them out?
You're in Texas, you said? Where are you at right now?
In San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio. I'm not familiar with San Antonio, Texas, but if you go do a search, drumming groups, dance groups, in your zip code in Google, they're all zip code sensitive, and then begin to look at the different places, like coffee houses oftentimes have advertisements for drumming groups or different parks. And this is where you have to let yourself do the search. And the search itself is going to be your own little quest, because there's going to be the business side of you that says, ah, shucks, I just need to do this, 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 and this. And then you're never going to find those spiritual expressive groups. So quite literally, you have to do the searching, and when you find it, you're going to find a completion of yourself by literally completing the task of searching. And that's where your first layer of illumination and clarity is going to come about the sacred feminine energies that are in you. Being a part of a drumming group is very, very important for you. It doesn't just have to be drumming. It could be a singers group, anything that deals with musicians. That would be an outstanding way of reconnecting with your sacred feminine and allow it to shine like the beacon it's meant to.
Okay, some of that makes some sense to me, because about 3 months ago, I brought in a special drumming, a female drummer who ignites through drumming, sort of a harmonious message through in our business. And so she came in with 100 drums, and the entire business group got together and kind of got connected. And then just this week, I thought I would take voice and piano lessons because my children are so musically inclined. I thought I would kind of participate to have some common with them. So maybe I just need to keep pursuing that. I think I asked you if I was on my most right and perfect path.
Doing the drumming or music, all of that is outstanding for you. And when you say right and perfect path, the answer is there is no right and perfect path until you fully reclaim your free will and understand the contracts that you're in. Until that time, no, you're not on your right and perfect path, but you're heading in a really good direction. Free will is one of the damned if you do, damned if you don't things, because free will allows you to take any path that you need to learn from. So the term right and perfect doesn't apply to you because you're shining your sacred feminine energy to light up the sacred feminine of other women. You're here to share that energy with them to empower women. That's your purpose here as the seventh sister from Janara. That's quite literally what you should be doing, is empowering women. Maybe you can start a women's safe volunteer group where they go into the crisis centers or do a donation drive. Is that something you could do?
Yes, I believe I pretty much can do whatever I want to do. So yes, I think I can. Earlier, you spoke to my sister, Rosin, and we are actually half sisters. We share the same father. I know she was talking about some of her childhood with you, but we don't share the same mother. Mm-hmm. And we didn't become friends and really close as sisters until we both were in our almost 40, late 30s. Mm-hmm. What is the connection that her and I have together from previous lives or previous?
You and her came together in this family to resolve energies that were from the Muslim conquering of Jerusalem, actually. Both you and her were on the opposite sides, and Jerusalem was conquered many times back and forth, and both of you were stuck into that incarnation pattern of war. And when you figured out how to break it back then, both of you left this world for 2 incarnation patterns and returned to your home worlds and regenerated, and then met in a safe space in between worlds, and you figured out a way so the 2 of you could plan your life separate of each other, and yet would come together deep in the future and resolve, and you would have resolved many of the negative karmic patterns that you were forced into at a younger part of your soul age. In this lifetime, you came together at a later age in the same concept because you both had to go through your own learning of this time, but had a similar foundation, and the foundation being, the family you grew up in. And now as you 2 come together, your purpose coming together is to be ceremonial sisters, quite literally, where the 2 of you can lead ceremonies for other women of sacred feminine energy and empower the healers to come forward, to give an opportunity for the voice of women to stand up and claim their free will over the bigotry of man.
Am I able to accomplish that?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. You have to give yourself the space, the desire, the energy to succeed, just as you would succeed in business. You have to apply all the knowledge you learn from business to this other source for its whole purpose of empowering women to come forward. So there's a big group of people saying, no, we reject bigotry. We accept free will. Women have a right to their voice. That's what you and your sister should be doing, quite literally, empowering women on many aspects, starting organizations and groups and making sure that an aggressive woman with male energy doesn't dominate the situation but allows everyone to speak their mind, making sure that the proper management's in the proper space so it thrives and it functions normally. By doing that, you can be a great force of change for all the women who are suffering under the thumb of domination and control. I know that's a lot for you to take in, but you're a very powerful soul and you know it. It's just time that you applied yourself to the concept of freedom for all womankind.
Andrew, what is your opinion, since you focus so much on the female energy and about the male bigotry in the kind of aggressive business world? It seemed like you mentioned women are very repressed and dominated, but how do you feel about what your connection is as far as the same gender or opposite genders? I personally am connected to have interest in female energy, but in women. And so physically I'm attracted to women over men.
Okay.
Is that me looking for that female energy all the time?
It is, but also how might I put this? When the homeworld you come from is very specific about bonding women and men into chemistry musical groups. You're part of the Seven Sisters, which means that you put a sisterhood of musicians together who incarnate in the same life pattern over and over again. So all of their incarnation patterns are representative of the same seven sisters incarnating at the same time with similar contracts to become powerful healing musicians. So for you, you're bonded to that female energy because that's what you're looking for, the other seven sisters. And as for me, I've spent many lifetimes as a woman, and many lifetimes as a man, and many lifetimes as just an energy being with no sex. When I accepted the galactic historian responsibility, I had to find a neutral perspective, the sacred neutral perspective where all sentient life is equal, including the sexes are absolutely equal. It each has a separate purpose as part of the synchronicity of creation. And when I see the womankind of this world, I see how the domination and control has affected them on a soul contract level, which has truly limited their entire incarnation pattern. And that's why I so firmly support women's groups, and I support sacred feminine energies. But I also support masculine energies that connect to spirituality. Women have a womb, and that womb is a separate access to the great source of the original mystery of the universe. Men don't get that born in them. They have to seek it externally. And that's just a function of the way sexuality and male and female work on this world. That's why so many men are addicted to sex and going after so many other women. They're looking for that womb connection into the universe, when in fact men are meant to go out into nature, into sacred places and chakra points on the earth to find that, instead of only through the sexuality of a woman. And when we come to go ahead, sorry.
Well, it was just a question about, are all of us meant to experience what people refer to as a really strong other connected soul, connected chemistry? Maybe people use the word, soulmate, but are we all meant to have that strong connectivity to another soul?
Yes, actually, and that comes from your soul family. But so many people get born into a family that doesn't have all of their soul family a part of it. So what that means is you're constantly looking and not finding that energy, because part of your soul family is on the other side of the earth instead of being born in the same town or the same state as you. So when that go ahead.
I'm sorry, but you said that I was in my soul family.
Yes,
you're
one of those people that is in your soul family, but the rest of your soul family, the complete soul family, isn't there. It's like think of business. If you don't have a shipping and receiving department and you sell products, what happens?
Can't go anywhere.
Exactly. And that's what happens to people. They're missing vital parts of the soul family that complete the matrix of energy and consciousness exploration. Sometimes you don't ever need to meet the soul family member. just them living on the world at this time can complete that matrix of energy, where other times to resolve the soul family karma or the soul family lessons, they just have to be near you, just a partner for one brief moment. We don't get that in this world because we're so separated on a massive scale.
So what is that? What is the case for me then? Am I missing some vital components of my soul family, or do I have enough, or am I supposed to make some other connections that I've not had the opportunity to make yet?
It starts with music and allowing the synchronicity of exploring music so that you find the same people that are from the Seven Sisters, because they're out there waiting for you to claim your musical heritage, to connect with it on a psychic and sacred feminine level, and then begin expressing it so that the rest of the musical soul family comes forward and you create your own soul family band, quite literally.
Okay. This has been incredibly insightful, and I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking to you more one-on-one, hopefully before you're off to Mount Shasta?
Yeah, off to Mount Shasta. That will be the 22nd and 23rd is the date of the conference, actually.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
A pleasure talking to you also, and I'll get a hold of you on Skype in the next day or so.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Take it
Bye.
easy.